Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the news, see what we have on the news. Um, Good morning, everyone. It's just getting in here. What I like to do, I have kind of a system in place. I like to check. Good morning, Randy. Corey, good. Hopefully you had a fun holiday. Hopefully you enjoyed your time. So what I like to do is check the news first, just to make sure we don't get any surprises there. And that's always important. And then I'll check the power indicator, just to get some ideas of what has been happening there. And you can see the monthly trend is weak dollar, just really strong. So, you know, on the monthly side, USD, CAD sell, any of the dollar pairs, but it's hard to get an idea on that because there's so much swing in between those. Dollar was a little bit weaker yesterday, so pound dollar trade would have been good. The problem with my Aussie was it was really weak, but the other dollar trade, euro dollar, was good. Euro was weak too. I actually got lucky on that one, but pound dollar, New Zealand dollar would have been good. I might take a look at New Zealand dollar today. Pound dollar, euro dollar's not quite there right now unless we want to look at maybe a short. But let's go ahead now and just jump in and take a look here. So John, you were looking at this this pound dollar.
Yeah, but I was looking at a sell for a break.
Okay, so actually that's not terrible. Then you're not in terrible shape. The only situation is there's a strong resistance point right here,
Yeah,
right where I have that line. So, were you kind of thinking about going to this point?
correct.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's definitely a possibility. A trade right down there. It's moving down right now, so it's breaking below the moving average. This is counter trend, but it's definitely. If we look at the power indicator and look at it on a lower time frame, I bet we'll notice that the pound is starting to get weak, right? So that's
Yeah.
something to look at. Okay, well, I think I'm going to jump on it, John. So I like that setup. I'm going to get it. And then my target is right at that support level, so let's do it. Okay, so now I'm going to add that to the spreadsheet.
I don't know what you did, but you did something.
It was all that massive volume. Yeah. So TJ just shared with us that he got in the pound CAD breaking the low of the day. Good. Thanks, TJ, for sharing. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
It's nice when you just come in and people tell you what to do. You don't even have to do anything. But I actually got to go back to my pound dollar because I didn't take a picture of it. Okay. Oh, I actually did. I just got to upload it to the spreadsheet. So I always take a picture of my trades and I put them in my spreadsheet so I can edit them and just review my trades just to see what I'm doing stupid and all that stuff. John told me to do it. I'm writing that in my spreadsheet. Breaking down, heading to a solid resistance. Okay, and I was actually
hoping the Gerber CAD would pull back up, but it just keeps going.
You want to get in on it.
Oh, I'd like to, but
Yeah.
if I missed it, I missed it.
Right. Well, the timing on the pound dollar was pretty good, so you can't get much better timing than that, to be
As
honest.
soon as you got in, it took off. It knew you were there.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't wait even 1 second. That's a good demonstration of not hesitating. um, so, oh, I wanted to look at the euro dollar. Okay, so I was actually looking at this level on the euro dollar too, where I drew this line. I kind of like this setup. I think it already bounced off the line once, but I think it might come down here again. Oops, my line disappeared.
I've been waiting for that to break all night, just so you know.
Yeah, so your patience is amazing. But yeah, so this is one of those situations where you pretty think you know it's going to happen, but the question is, will you be at the chart when it does? So when you say you're waiting for it to break, are you talking about this green line or the trend?
Actually, the green line.
The green line. Okay.
That's about the area I'm waiting for.
Okay, so you're waiting to take a short down here.
Correct.
Okay.
And also, you have a nice trend line right through there too. It's about where your moving average is. It's your orange one. I think that's the 200, or what is that on yours?
That is this 150.
That's the 150. Okay.
Okay, and so yeah, right there is the trend line, and it's right there. So either way, we're definitely in a trade situation here. We just got to be patient, wait for the price action. So if the price goes down and breaks this trend line and this green line, we got a lot of distance. I would say right down here somewhere. Let's look at a daily to kind of give an idea. You can see we've got just a little zone here. Anywhere in here, I think it could get down to 107 or 170.74. Or no, 117.07. Hard to read those little tiny numbers.
I have trouble all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I would make the change is make those numbers bigger. So, yeah, let's take a look at my pound trade. Uh-oh, coming back a little bit. Let's take a look here. So I was actually already up 15 pips, and let's get rid of this line so I can see the profit on this is $28. So I was I was over halfway. Let's take a look here. All right, so I'm going to tighten this up already. No reason to hold this risk. All right, so if you'll notice, what I did was my original stop loss was up here, and it was $70 is what I had risked on the trade. Okay, but my goal is to eliminate risk as soon as possible. And if you've been watching me at all, what you just saw happen doesn't happen very often. I pulled in because John was suggesting it, and I just liked what I saw. And so I got in, and then we immediately had a 15 pip candle. Like, this is a 1 minute candle, and so literally it moved 15 pips in 1 minute. That does not happen very often. And so I've only been in this trade for about 5 minutes now, and I've already removed all of the risk on the trade. So ideally, if that's the best possible scenario in this situation. And anytime we get a chance to do that, then we want to do it. Okay, so so this is just really good opportunities, but you don't want to like always expect this. Actually, I almost never expect it. I just enjoy it when it happens. Sometimes you got to sit and wait around a while. So we noticed that the euro was a little weaker as well, so we're still looking at this potential setup here. I'm more inclined to wait on this one because it doesn't quite have as much room. The target would be way below here, so too much support in the way. And I still think it could bounce here too. So I think either way could happen. So let's take a look at that pound CAD. So TJ, what's your target on that? Did you hit that target yet? Because if you got in here, you'd be up about 32 pips. That's a pretty awesome trade. I think the target would have already been hit.
And you got the US dollar JPY pair breaking out.
Okay.
That's on a 15-minute. I'm looking.
Yeah, 15-minute. It's breaking out. You can see the 50 period is turned direction, and it crossed all the other ones. Let's look at it on a daily time frame. Not a whole lot of movement here, so this is one you wouldn't want to hold on to too long, I would think. But it is definitely looking good because if you'll notice, it hasn't broken these moving averages in a long time, right? And you notice the last time it broke, look what happened. Big 45 pip move. And then the last time it broke to the downside, what happened? It came back, retested, but then it had a big 74 pip move. So TJ, what does 50% profit mean? Does that mean it was a 50? Yeah, what is a 50%? Dude, that's really good. Of your account? Because I never get that kind of a trade. That's awesome. Or are you thinking stock terms? You risked 200, you made 100. Oh, 50% of your target. So when I do stock trading, the way that we manage risk is a little differently, right? So, and I'm not sure that even applies here, but I look at my ROI as percent of risk rather than on Forex. You look at your ROI as percent of account, right? So if you hit like on Forex, you hit like a 2% winner, it's your whole account. When I'm trading stocks, I do percent of my risk. So if I spend, it costs more to take stock trades. You have to have a bigger account, right? So generally I risk $2,500 on one trade. I spend $2,500, but I'm not risking $2,500. I spend $2,500 and I'm only going to risk $250, right? So on the $2,500 that I spend on that trade, if I end up making 250, that's considered 10%. And I'm not sure why they do it that way. That's just the way they do it.
And the CAD JPY looks real good too. I just got in that one.
CAD JPY. Oh yeah, two. I would have liked to get in that one a little bit sooner. Right here would have been a good entry. Good.
Now, Casey, on the 1 hour, I got the VS Pro is crossed, but on the 15-minute, it's not crossed.
Uh-huh.
How should I handle that?
I usually just look at what it's doing on the hourly
Okay,
and just go with that.
that makes sense.
That's what I do. So, okay, so this US yen has pulled back a little bit. I think I'm going to get in on this little pullback here. Try it.
So you're going for the small fish?
Yeah. Yeah, just tightening it up a little bit on the size. Um, that's what you can do with the Epic if you want. Just change the time frame.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so David said that there was U.S. news. I didn't see it on my calendar. It might be not.
I thought it was medium news.
It might be medium. Yeah, I usually only look at the red stuff.
But sometimes the medium does move it a little bit.
I think it does if the deviation is really wide. You know, if it's a really big, wide deviation. Because some people do look at it, but a lot of people like me ignore the red, yellows. Okay, well, the pullback that I tried to get just kept on going. This point might be a good place too. We'll see. And yesterday I caught this bounce on the pound yen. And now that trend line is pretty much gone. But you'll notice it broke the trend line. And now it's just flat. Look at how well it's handled these levels. 1, 2, 3. It just always bounces. This would have been a great bounce trade right here. The trade I got yesterday was pretty good. So today, after all these tests, it might continue to break down. We'll see, huh? My pound dollar ended up being a loser, just for about $1 though. So that's not a big deal. So USD.
Yeah, everything has turned right now. I'm waiting to see if it comes back.
So that's one of the good things about moving your stop, I think, because then I can always get back in if it comes back down. You know, because I don't mind taking.
I wish I would have got out.
Yeah.
You got me on that one.
Yeah, you got me yesterday on the euro, but I ended up hitting the target.
Oh, yeah, I watched you make money. You never know.
That's right. You never do. But we just can manage our risk as good as we possibly can.
Now the Gerber CAD pulled back up. I don't know if it's a good entry or not. I'm still thinking about it for a sell.
Well, yeah, if it hits into this resistance and
I
rolls
think the
over.
Gerber's getting a little stronger. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the one of the challenges with trading the pound is it can go up and down so fast. Like
And
it
that's
can,
a big pullback.
yeah, it moves quick. I mean, this thing is just 20 pips in a 1 5 minute candle.
I got in for the sell.
On this pound CAD.
Yeah, but I'm gonna close some risk down just in case it jumps across.
Okay, well, I'm gonna watch it a little bit and see what happens. See if I can notice any type of turnaround.
And the euro dollar's at the top of a triangle. I don't know if that's going to turn around or break.
So we got a little triangle inside of a big triangle. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to go to the top, but it could turn around and stay within that triangle. It'd still be a nice scalp to the bottom.
Yeah,
That's basically all it's been doing all night. So
yeah. All day, every time it bounces, it just rejects. So maybe that's another one. And so that's something to keep in mind on that pound. Pound might do the same thing. You notice I got in. I should have, took a 13 pip profit. That would have been a good trade, but you just never know.
if we could go back,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Well, pound is still moving up. I wanted to look at the New Zealand USD. Okay. They two little tiny candles. Not much happening. Okay, so Franz is asking me what tool do I use to draw the trend line. So I have this, it's just the standard trend line tool. Okay, but I have a setting. I like my trend lines short. I don't like the long ones. And that's just a personal preference. So if you go into your trend line, you draw a trend line, double click it, right click, and then do properties. You can change some of the things about it. You can change the color, right? You can change the style, and I like to make them a little bit fatter so I can see them. And then you can, if you click the parameters, if you do it as array, it'll go on forever, right? You just draw the trend line, and it just keeps going, right? But I don't like that. That's just not the way I like to do it. So personal preference is I just change the properties, and where it says ray, I turn that off, and then I draw it to however long I want it to be. Okay, so let's take a look at the Euro New Zealand because Corey asked me to. So Euro New Zealand is in a nice daily channel. It's currently touching the bottom or kind of. So it might have a little bit more room. But you can see nice little channel here, slow moving. That's actually pretty big, 380 pips. So the thing is, let's take a look. So there is some room to the bottom of this channel, Corey, and it did break through this strong level, right? And so when it broke through, it hit 42 pips. So that could have been the trade, on this break. That could have been the trade. The trade might be over. And now the new trade might be up here, but we still have this level to contend with. So my thought process on it is this: as long as it stays below the blue line that I just drew, it's a short. If it passes above, it's a long. So the opportunity with that would give you a good opportunity to get a nice tight stop if you wanted to re-enter here, because you could put your stop maybe right here, nice 20 pip stop, go for another 40 pip target or so. Just an idea. Good to have you, Robert. Thanks. This is MT4. And the tools that we have is called Epic Money Management. It helps us take our trades. It does a lot of things. And we also have this tool down here called the VSPRO, which helps gauge volatility and price movement. Okay. Oh, Pound CAD made a nice little bounce. I'm going to actually join you on this one.
Yeah, I'm up a whole $3. There you go. Now it's moving. Okay. So pretty simple. Strategy that I like to trade. It's based off of price action mainly. Looking to try to follow the trend, catch pullbacks, which is what I'm trying to do here. Which now it's not looking too good. This was a breakout to the downside. You can see that it broke below this 50 period moving average really strong, had some nice downward momentum. Was looking for this to keep moving down here to follow the trend. Still I think is still a pretty solid trade. It went up and retested these two levels, which you can see them right here. And so this is what you call a breakout, a touch of this resistance level, and then price rolling back down. That's the chart pattern that I'm trading right now. You can see the last time it did this, because it just did it. Okay, you see that? It broke through, came back, and then dropped. So now I'm hoping for the same thing to happen. I'm hoping for it to come back up here, and drop. That's the whole premise of the current setup. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to happen on this one too. USDN broke. I got in a little bit early on this re-entry, but now I'm hoping it comes back here, tests, and then goes back up. Because why? Because we have a break of these moving averages. And like I had said before, the last time it broke the moving averages, we had a really nice up move. The last time it broke the moving averages to the downside, it had a really nice down move. So I'm liking this setup still. If we get price to bounce off of this resistance area, I think it could be a really good setup. And so counter trend, well, the question is, are you talking about a daily time frame? So if it's a daily time frame, yes. But on the 15-minute, the trend has officially changed. Once it passes all these moving averages, it officially changes. And if you like trend lines, you can draw your trend line here, and you can see this was a really steep trend line, but it broke, right? And so when you break the trend line, that's an indication that levels are changing. Another indication is these higher highs and higher lows, right? So look, it makes a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So the highs keep getting smaller and smaller. Well, guess what just happened? It switched. See right here? Instead of making a lower high, it broke the old high. And then it makes a lower low. And then it makes a new higher high. And then a new lower low, a new higher high, and a new lower low. So this is an indication that the trend line is now switching over. Okay, and so now it's also passing all these moving averages, right? So I'm not just randomly taking trades, and I did it pretty quick, right? So John said, hey, the USD yen is turning, and I got in really fast, but that's just because I can see these things pretty good, because I've been doing this a long time. So let's look at my pound CAD. Okay, well, so let's take a look at USD CAD. Wow, that thing has just been great to trade. It's been really good. We should have got in up here, John.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah. On strong downtrends like this, the best thing you can do is wait for it to test up like it just did here. Because people are starting to think it's a breakout and they go in the wrong way. They're like, okay, this thing's reversing. Because look, there's this nice... I had talked about this level. I talked about this level, and now we actually have another level to look at. But it went right through it, and then it tested it, and then it tested again. Every time you get a test of these levels is a great time to take the trade.
Yep.
And then look at this. Look how beautiful that was. Again, but that's not when I'm trading. So we got to do something different. So you can either take this breakout to the downside and try to catch it. Because right now you can see what kind of the trend we're going. It's moving up, down, up, lower, high, lower high, lower high, lower low, and now do we have another lower low? So the last time it broke the low, it went 12 pips. So what would this be a sell? It would be, what would the target be here? The target on the downside here is about 17 pips. Pretty close if you wanted to try to
Yeah.
take that one. Okay, so we're testing this level here on the pound CAD one more time. And I think what I'm going to do, it's got two levels to test. So if it goes up to past this one, this level could stop it. I was thinking about moving my stop to reduce some of that risk, but I thought, you know what? I'll keep my odds in play by having this second level.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes that second level holds. Okay, well, while we're waiting, while I'm just managing these trades, I want to look at the stock trades. I'll show a couple that I did yesterday. I traded this monster yesterday. So let me pull that up. Okay, so here's the move. Nice strong uptrend. Price has moved up. Broke this level yesterday. And now I'm looking for it to get at least up to 87, maybe beyond. Maybe 90. Could be a nice trade. And then the other trade I got in is a little bit different from what I'm used to looking at. But it's this JMIA. And this was a pretty solid uptrend for a while until it just went really crazy. And so it pulled back really heavy, and I don't usually like that, but this strong breakout is kind of making me think, oh, well, this could go right back up here. And then I would actually double the trade. Get in at 12, get out at 24. That would be a double. So that would be pretty good. So JMIA and MNST, those are the two trades I got from yesterday.
Now, yesterday you did the levels where you let the trade come to you. I really like that style of trading. I don't really incorporate that much, but I've been really thinking about that.
You know what? It is nice.
It looks like you get bigger trades.
Yeah, right. You can get. I was just thinking about that too.
I think Corey does stuff similar to that, though.
The thing about if you wait for the levels to get in, kind of like what we talked about with this USD CAD, for example. If you analyze in advance where the level is, like we knew this was the level yesterday. Yesterday, this is where the market was when we were in the room.
Yeah.
We knew that this was the level, so we could have waited for this, right? So it might be a good idea to just start thinking of, okay, what's price going to do tomorrow, right? Try to predict it a day in advance, and then when it does it, we know what to do. We know how we want to respond. So what's going to happen tomorrow on the USD yen? Well, I'll pick a couple levels here. This level is just a lower time frame. It's more right here. And on a higher time frame, this is where it would go. I mean, there is some, we could maybe say there's a level here because two things. We have this moving average, 50 period, and we also have all these tops. So there's possible could turn around right here tomorrow, 105.75. So let's just draw this out and see what happens tomorrow.
There you go.
Hopefully it goes up here because that's where my trade is.
I like that.
Okay, so if I get a little bit better price movement here, if this tail kicks up and we break this, I'm going to start reducing my risk. So, Arun, I do my analysis right now. This is when I do it because I don't usually look at the charts after I'm done. Okay, pound CAD is still hanging in there, and US yen still hanging in.
You got the euro dollars turning around in the triangle. It'd be a nice little scalp for a sell trade.
Which one?
The euro dollar on a 15-minute chart.
There it is. Yeah. Bouncing off this level.
Still need a little bit more confirmation, but it's trying to go. Problem is, if you wait for too much confirmation, you miss the trade.
That is true. Let's look at what the levels would say on an hourly. Yeah, I like this setup. Could go right back down here on a 15-minute. I'm not going to take this because I'm pretty content with my trades I got on for right now. But it looks good.
And it's also bouncing right on top of that 50, so it kind of needs to break that before you get in.
DY guy said pound CAD short. I'm just in pound CAD short too. It's taking its time. It's not wanting to turn around right here.
Yeah, I took that euro dollar short.
Okay, so John is officially in the euro dollar short, everyone. And he knows the euro.
Well, nothing else is working for me.
Well, there you go. Do what works. The thing about the euro is it doesn't make, I mean, sometimes, but for the most part, it doesn't make like too much rapid moves. So
Yeah,
you
that's
got to do
true.
small trades. Get it while you can. I mean, this wasn't bad here. I mean, it does make some 58 pips is a good move. Here's a good one. 58 pips again. Okay, it broke my first level. Let's take a look at that Euro New Zealand, see what that's doing. That's breaking this level too. And the euro dollar is
Just one of those days.
just not wanting to do anything. Yeah, yesterday was the holiday, so yesterday got a little more movement than what we're seeing now. Sometimes it takes a little while. Next hour we'll pick things up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the participation. Okay, one more level to test here, and then I'm in trouble. But let's see what this US yen is doing. US yen is still looking a little better. It broke this 200. Are you in this one, John?
No, I am not.
Okay. Broke this 200. Tested. Trying to break again, so I like it. So, I wanted to thank everybody that was doing the open house. This is the last day, so I wanted to close out with a couple closing thoughts, and just talking about mindset. You know, mindset's really important. Being able to have good trading psychology and finish your trades, and to keep your risk low and to be able to take losses. It's really important. I actually had an interview with a mindset coach, which to me, you know, a lot of times that seems a little bit crazy. You know, mindset coach, like, what's the point of that? You know, but it was a really good interview, and I'm going to show you a clip of it. See if that works. Right at the very end, I was talking with another trader, so I'm going to turn this up. I went right to the right spot. I'm going to turn it up and see if you guys can hear this. Just a really good clip about mindset and how important it is. Right before this, because I've had a lot of guests, and I just love being a podcast host. It's like the best thing ever because I get so much.
Tell. It's a pleasure to be here. I can tell you're really enjoying it.
I get a lot of info. I mean, I'm learning so much, and so the woman that I interviewed before said, her name was Valerie. She said, "I think it's 50% mindset and 50% strategy." What do you think about that?
I think, everyone can give its own percentage.
Right.
I think once you have the right mindset, then you don't really have to work on your mindset. it's not like you're trying to create something that is not there, in my perspective. So then when you are trading, you can just focus on trading. But the beginning stage is to create that mindset. And I would say, like, even in my program, I focus the first weeks. I don't even touch charts. I don't even talk stocks. It's all about the mindset. Because yes, if you are trying to become that trader, that ideal trader, being patient, disciplined, non-emotional, computer-like person, because computers are basically the best traders, right? So if you're trying to become someone that is not like this perfect someone else, you will have to keep working on your mindset. So yes, with that respect, it might be 50-50 because you have to concentrate on both. But once you know your mindset is right and you have your performance zone, then you can just concentrate on trading.
So then it could be said that it might be 50-50, but mindset has to come first. Because if you
That's
don't
a
get
good
your
way to put it.
mindset, you're never going to find the strategy.
That's very good way to put it. And I don't think there is one secret strategy, as I mentioned. It's like, everyone has its own ways. Yes, there are setups that everyone follows, but there's so much more to strategy.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're basically out of time, so I want. Okay, so hopefully you guys that were on YouTube could hear that. Apparently the people that were in the GoToWebinar could not, so I apologize for that. But you could go back and check it out. I'll throw the link in there. Really good interview, so you guys can listen to it if you want. Sorry about that. But I want to thank Isaac because he said he got a couple friends in here. Good, I appreciate it, Isaac. Isaac got a couple friends in. James, or not a couple, just James. James, thanks. Thank you so much, James, for trying us out. Okay, so I'll just summarize what she said. She basically said that, mindset is really important and strategy is really important, but you got to learn mindset first. Because if you don't have the right discipline, the right trading mindset, the right beliefs about trading, the right beliefs about yourself, that you can do it, and, beliefs about money, a lot of things have to be in place, or you're going to sabotage yourself and you don't even know it. So you got to get the mindset right first, then you work on strategy, right?
Yeah.
And so strategy is actually, it's important. It's really important, but there's strategies everywhere. All right, so I'm going to start reducing my risk on this trade. Okay, I've just reduced risk on US yen to $26. Good, Barbara. Good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, well, I'm going to manage these trades and keep you guys updated. I actually have to go today because I don't have anything on my schedule, but I'm just really not feeling well. So I want to go take a break. So I'm just going to kind of let these meander and check them every once in a while. Not a lot to actually do on them. Pound CAD, hopefully we'll find a place to turn around here. I've got some room on this the second level, and then this 50 period might hold it down too. So there's definitely some things. And then the US yen's looking pretty good. It's breaking this 15-minute trend. I like it. Something that we definitely might want to keep our eyes on in the future Just these nice, because this is a 50 period moving average, a 150 and a 200. And on the 15-minute, when it breaks all three, it's usually a pretty good trade. So, we'll keep our eyes for those. I think those will work pretty well for us. I mean, you can even see where it did it here on this one, on this U.S. trade yesterday.
No, that was a good trade.
Yeah. So, and then before that, look at this one. So it comes with some nice setups. So something we'll be looking for. John is currently in the euro, looking pretty good, John. Hopefully you'll get some more follow through on that one.
So far, it's the only one for me. So
Good. It's interesting because this one is dollar strength and the euro is dollar weakness, and we're both making money on it.
yeah.
Taking the opposite direction. That's the power of currencies. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks, guys. Everybody that was in the open house, I want to thank you guys. Really appreciated it. All right.